The secret origin of Mysterio. Even Kingpin knows little about the criminal in the smoky helmet, but Spider-Man's about to learn more than he bargained for. Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 3, Issue 16. 20 years ago, the Maker prevented a radioactive spider from biting a young Peter Parker. He likewise prevented the creation of any other superheroes and formed a secret council to rule the world from the shadows. 15 months ago, Tony Stark sent Peter that same radioactive spider along with a Pico suit. Since then, Peter has used the incredible powers granted by the spider's bite to fight crime alongside Green Goblin, aka Harry Osborn, co-CEO of Oscorp. Kraven the Hunter kidnapped Peter and Harry, dragged Mole Man and Mysterio into his dangerous game despite Mole Man's concerns about Kraven keeping his hunt secret from their superior Kingpin. After a grueling battle, Harry was murdered by Kraven, but Mysterio helped Spider-Man escape. We start off in April with Gwen Stacy mourning before Harry's headstone. This is because Harry Osborn is dead, killed by the hands of Kraven, and Gwen is standing here remembering her lost love. Then we go back as Gwen is remembering the early days with her dad, George Stacy. George Stacy says, "Life is not fair. I wish that wasn't how things are, but it is, Gwen. And because of that, things are going to be different now. But I have to keep doing my job, and you have to get up every day and continue to become the amazing person your mother always knew you were going to be." Gwen asks, "When will it feel better, Dad?" George Stacy says, "Never. No one ever gets past losing somebody that you love. But the good news is that they're never really gone. They live on in your heart." We then pick up with Gwen Stacy going on a date with Harry Osborn, and this is long before Gwen and Harry ever got married. Initially, Gwen had no interest in him, right? Because he was just some super rich guy, and she didn't really dig super rich guys. As the two of them talk and hit it off, and clearly there's some chemistry there, it turns out to be something more, something romantic. It turns out to be something serious. But that's when Gwen gets a call saying they found her father. They found the body of George Stacy. We go back to a past memory of George Stacy and Gwen Stacy. George Stacy says no one ever gets past losing somebody that you love. But the good news is they're never really gone. They live on in your heart, and no one can take that away from you. You see, as the years pass, your memory of mom won't change, and you get to remember her in the way that most children would, perfectly, not ruined by age or learning your parents are regular people flawed, just like everyone else. And then Gwen says, "No, I'll always think you're perfect, Dad." Gwen Stacy. Dad says, "Well, I'm not. I have secrets that many in the world, and especially you, won't find out until I'm gone. You might understand who I was. People might say bad things about me. They might say nothing at all because the mystery will hold. Just understand one thing. Everything I've done was for you, so you wouldn't see this world as it really is. That's my legacy to you." So we pick back up with Gwen after the date with Harry. The mystery person says, "After years of trying, we finally recovered your father's remains. They didn't want to give them up. They didn't want to complete. But now, thanks to the good fortune and circumstances, his final wish can come to pass. He wanted you to take his place and join us." As we see the helmet of Mysterio, this person asks, "Do you know the words?" Gwen says, "The world is a lie, and only through embracing those lies and becoming a master of them can we truly see." Gwen Stacy continues, "Our craft is old, older than life. Our power is ageless. The amulet passed from seer to spawn, one to wear it, five to share it. We are Mysterio." On the head of Gwen Stacy is the mysterious mystical amulet. Could it be the Eye of Agamotto? As Quentin Beck says, "Welcome, sister." 9 years later, Harry and Gwen get married, and there's a really interesting moment because during the wedding dance, it leads to Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy sharing a traditional father and daughter-in-law dance. Norman Osborn, before his death, seemed to know what was going on. He says to Gwen, "I want you to promise me something, new daughter of mine. Don't ever let him distract you from what you're put on this earth to do." Gwen Stacy, shocked, replies, "I can make that promise." The next memory is the first Christmas together as a married couple. Harry says, "First Christmas as a married couple. A lot of pressure here. Gift-wise, I mean, it's really a statement as to how well you've come to know the other person. Do you know them, or do you really know them?" them. As Gwen Stacy opens the book, Harry adds, "The world is and the world that was" by Dr. Jericho Drum. Let me tell you, super hard to find a copy of that. We could have put a kid through college for what I paid. Still, I know how you love this conspiracy stuff. Gwen says conspiracy. Do you know what this book is about? It's about the idea that the world has two timelines, the one we're currently living in and the one we're supposed to be living in. It's about particles and temporal echoes, not flat earths and chemtrails. That's the real reason you can't find this book anywhere. Dr. Jericho Drum is known as Brother Voodoo, though this might not be the same Brother Voodoo from Earth 616. In Earth 616, he once replaced Doctor Strange as the Sorcerer Supreme and is a powerful practitioner of the mystic arts. From what Gwen says, it seems she knows what the Maker did and when he showed up and began altering things across the universe. We go to the five Mysterios 1 year later, as Quentin Beck says to Gwen Stacy, "Tell them." Gwen Stacy says, "We were right all along, Quentin. Everything we worked toward, everything we believed in is real. The world is an illusion fabricated by one man telling a lie big enough to deceive all of humanity. And now he is trapped in a prison of his own making for the next 2 years. Our recent elevation only happened because my husband's parents were killed in the Stain Stark explosion. As a result, and as you already know, our company, Oscorp, absorbed Stain Stark. Then we went rifling through all the corporate archives. We also learned all of this, the real history of the world." Quentin Beck says, "We'll need to act fast, release the information, and wipe the fog from the eyes of the world." Gwen Stacy says, "No, you'll understand better after you look at the copies I brought for all of you, but we can't risk having any involvement traced back to us. Acting fast is flying too close to the sun, and that's exactly what got my father killed. I think we need a better delivery system," a Mysterio asks. "And what would that be?" Gwen says, "I don't know yet." We then go to dinner date when Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy meet each other for the first time, as well as Harry Osborn and Peter Parker, meaning the significant others all together. In the bathroom, the idea of the paper comes to Gwen Stacy, and she asks Mary Jane about it. This paper would be the delivery system for their information. The paper is a newspaper created by J. Jonah Jameson and Uncle Ben. They had grown disillusioned with the Daily Bugle because Wilson Fisk had taken it over and was effectively using it as a propaganda piece. J. Jonah Jameson and Uncle Ben were in hot pursuit of the truth, and so they launched this new brand. A few months later, we switch over to a conversation between Harry Osborn and Gwen Stacy. Harry Osborn says, "You were right. Ben and Jonah were way less interested in the superhero antics than all the Maker's files we had. I hope we did the right thing in giving it to them." Gwen Stacy replies, "The wrong thing would be letting the world continue in the direction it's been heading most of our lives. If they want to do something about it, who are we to stop them?" Harry then says, "They thought it might be you in the suit. They thought you were the Green Goblin." Gwen Stacy responds, "That is hilarious." Gwen Stacy was operating behind the scenes, basically flipping these documents out into the world. She was sending Harry, Uncle Ben, and J. Jonah Jameson down a path without them realizing she was the one doing it, finding the documents and ensuring they made it into the right hands. She's very much a hidden hand in all of this. And then we go to months ago. As Gwen stated, she questions why one of the five Mysterios showed up, remembering at different times there are different Mysterios. As Gwen Stacy was trying to find Harry Osborn, who was kidnapped by Kraven, this Mysterio says Kraven took him along with his sidekick. He caught their scent early and laid in wait until he could act. He kept it all very quiet, but now he's made the mistake of including a component of ours in his schemes. Well, because Kraven wants to hunt them in the Savage Land, he doesn't know all about our alliance with the Mole Man, and he doesn't know that the Mole Man has told me, but Kraven does mean to kill them. Gwen Stacy says, "The amulet passes from you to me in 2 days. Do I have that long, or can you take care of this?" Mysterio says, "I'll talk to our friend. Buy some time." The current Mysterio also tells Gwen one more thing she needs to be aware of, that she is being followed by Dr. Octopus, Otto Octavius. Dr. Octavius is not the villain you're familiar with. He's basically the technology guy for Peter Parker and Harry Osborn, helping them improve their suits and so on. Gwen storms into the room where he's working and demands, "Are you having me watched?" His response, it was Harry's plan, a security thing he had me do. If he went missing, which you informed me of, then the protocol snapped into place. So you're being followed and protected. And forgive me, I would normally never intrude on your privacy, but some of the things you've been doing and the places you've been going don't really add up. I have a few questions. Mysterio communicates to Gwen Stacy. He's too curious and too close. Cut him loose. Gwen Stacy then fires Otto Octavius. 2 months ago, the moment when Harry Osborn gets shot by Kraven the Hunter, Peter Parker says, "No, I'm not like him. We're not him." Harry Osborn responds, "What are you talking about, Peter? He's a killer. That's what he does. He won't stop until he wins. It's him or it's us." From behind, Harry Osborn is grabbed by Gwen Stacy, now Mysterio, and she says, "Don't speak, not a word, watch." Mysterio made it appear that the death of Harry Osborn was real, but it was an illusion. As Kraven shoots, he hits only the illusion of Harry. Peter Parker is shocked and screams, "What did you do? What did you do?" Then Peter unleashes his rage on Kraven. We continue further and see another illusion. Mysterio says, "Well, this is quite the dilemma, isn't it?" Peter responds, "He killed my friend." But Gwen Stacy knows the truth. Mysterio tells Peter he's a killer, and that's what killers do. So you have to wonder, if he's so good at it, what makes you think your loved ones are safe? Honestly, what makes you think they're still alive at all? These are flashbacks from Ultimate Spider-Man, issue 14, except this time we know the truth and what really happened. Gwen Stacy as Mysterio says to a hidden Harry Osborn, "Nobody can see you. They're fine." Gwen Stacy and Peter's family, but let it play out. Mysterio then turns to Peter Parker and says, "But I do think you should run home now, Peter Parker. You couldn't save your friend, but perhaps you can still save them." Kraven, battered from Peter's beating, begins muttering, "What are you playing at, Mysterio? You dare to come between me and my hunt." Mysterio replies to Kraven, "I do, but only because you became between me and mine." Mysterio lifts the gun and says, "So long, comrade," as she shoots Kraven right through the head. Harry Osborn, stunned, says, "Mysterio?" The helmet unfolds. It's Gwen Stacy. She is Mysterio. She saves Harry Osborn and calmly replies, "Yes, dear." Harry Osborn screams, "What is going on?" We go to the present time at the gravestone of Harry Osborn. Harry says, "So I'm dead and the Green Goblin is not, which must mean I'm not the Green Goblin." Gwen Stacy replies, "Yes." As the rain pours down, Harry asks Gwen, "Why didn't you tell me?" Gwen says, "I was raised in this. It's been part of my life longer than you have. I thought I could keep it separate. I thought I could have both." Harry replies, "Not if you kept lying, and not if you're going to keep being so secretive, Gwen. That's not going to work." Gwen responds, "I'm Mysterio, Harry, and secretive is just another word for mysterious. That's who I am." Harry Osborn, with a smile, says, "We'll figure it out. I know we will." Gwen nods and says, "Okay, so what's next?" Harry says, "Now we take the fight to them. Now we win." Next, Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 3, Issue 17, Harry's War.